Hello, and welcome to Growing in Uncertainty. My name is Tess Miller, and through my seminar and coaching business, Wings Unfolded, I help professionals who are ready to transition from the life they thought they wanted to the one for which they were made. I believe that life is a series of transitions through mind, body, and spirit. And sometimes transitions can be scary, or sometimes we can get stuck, especially when the things that used to make us really happy and excited no longer do. My intention with these videos is to help as many people as possible through their own life transitions by sharing how I'm navigating through mine. Through these videos, I offer insights, tips, tricks, things I've learned along the way about moving through uncertainty and feeling stuck. And I hope that these videos give you the courage to get through any of the times in your life that are making you feel stuck. So today, I want to talk about the book that I've been writing over the course of the last year. Although the idea for this book actually started 2 years ago. And what happened was 2 years ago, I had recently graduated as a coach from the Institute for Professional Excellence in Coaching. And I was so excited to be a coach. I was so excited to start helping people, and I was putting up quotes on my social media, as I still do, and telling people about being a coach, and I wasn't really getting any clients yet. But I was also still really tapped into my old life. The life of being a musician and a therapeutic musician and a teacher. And so one day in the middle of the night, I suddenly woke up and I don't know, it was probably sometime around 3:30 in the morning. And my mind just started thinking about the fact that I had graduated. I was excited about the new direction I was going in, but I didn't really feel like I was there yet. I felt stuck. And all of a sudden, I had the idea that I needed to write a book about stuck. And the reason why I felt like I needed to write this book was because stuck was a feeling that I was so familiar with. Stuck was something that is something that has come up for me so many times in my life. Basically, ever since the first time anybody asked me the question, hey, what do you want to do with your life? Immediately, I felt stuck when somebody asked me that question because I didn't have an answer right away. And I thought that not having an answer to that question might mean that, oh, there's something wrong with me. I might not be able to figure this out. How do I figure this out? So anyway, that kind of stuck sensation went with me, even though I made decisions to become a musician and a teacher and a therapeutic musician and do all of those things. I still felt times in my life where, I would come up to a crossroads and I wouldn't be sure what to do. How do I navigate through this? And I'd always get through in one way or another. But then there were new parts of me that were emerging, and that's what influenced me in becoming a coach. I wanted to be able to help other people through their moments of stuck. But 2 years ago, I wasn't quite there yet. I was still dealing with a little bit of stuck. But anyway, middle of the night, I'll get there. Middle of the night, I had this idea for a book. I gotta write this book because I think it'll help me. So that morning, when I went back to sleep, fortunately, and didn't forget the idea of the book. I woke up the next morning and decided to go to a cafe. This was, of course, in the days before a pandemic, where going to the cafe still felt like a safe activity. And I wrote out my outline for my book in less than an hour. I knew exactly how I wanted to format it. I knew exactly what I wanted to talk about. After making that outline, the outline sat there for about a year. And then the pandemic hit, and we were all really stuck. We were stuck during the stay-at-home orders, and I could no longer do my jobs, like a lot of people couldn't continue doing their work. So I'm stuck at home during this pandemic, and I realized, okay, I think maybe now is the time that I need to write this book. And yes, the irony is not lost on me that I was writing a book about being stuck during a pandemic in which everyone was stuck. That really actually helped me write the book. It helped me see being stuck from a new angle, from a new vantage point. It helped me have the time and freedom to really recall all the times in my life that I've felt really stuck and remember all the things that I would do to get unstuck. I also had the time to really reflect on the stories in my life, and there are a lot of my stories in this book. Some of them are, stories that not many people would even know about me. Some of them are stories that I probably tell everybody. So if you know me, I'm sorry, you're going to hear these stories again. But you'll be hearing them through the lens of being stuck. So anyway, my hope with this book is that it will give other people clarity about anything that they're feeling stuck about in their lives. I hope that it helps people access the creative higher power within themselves, that we all have that part of ourselves that is like a kind of the more mature, higher knowledge, higher vibrating self-expression that helps us get unstuck and untangled in our lives. And my hope is that the exercises and the things that I write about in this book will really resonate with people who read it and help you get unstuck too. And I also really hope that this book is going to help people shift their mindset about what stuck really is. It's really easy to think when we're stuck that, oh, this is it for me, or I just don't know what to do, I should just give up, or I have to push it away and keep going on in my life and just ignore the fact that I feel stuck right now because I just have to be in survival mode. And my hope is that this book is going to convince people that actually stuck is a tremendous invitation to get to know yourself, to know what you actually want in your life, and then to develop the bravery and courage to start making changes, small changes at first, and then maybe you build up to the bigger changes that will really help you create the life that you ultimately really want. The book is organized in 3 parts, 3 sections. The first part is all about getting ready to process your stuck. In the first section, I write about what stuck is and what causes us to get stuck. And then I talk about how we can sit with stuck in healthy, supportive ways. It's not about taking action right away. It's about really sitting with the stuck without resisting it or avoiding it, and really taking a look at, okay, how did I get here? And then at the end of that first section, I invite people to write about their story of how they ended up getting stuck. In the second section, I talk about getting ready to take action on the stuck by getting to know yourself. There are exercises that help you get to know who you are. Sometimes when we're in the process of getting stuck, we lose ourselves. We lose who we are, who we want to be. Maybe we are trying to live by goals that we set up for ourselves when we were a lot younger and really thought we wanted those things, and then realized with time and experience and just, life changes that, oh, wait a minute, I guess maybe I don't want that so much, but now what do I do? So in part 2, you're getting to know who you are. You're also getting to know what your patterns are in life. They might be relationship patterns or patterns in how you deal with challenges that come up in your life. Or maybe it's the stories that you tell yourself. These stories can be certain beliefs that you have about yourself, like, oh, I would never be able to be a public speaker, or I would never be able to do a Facebook Live, or, whatever it is. We tell ourselves all kinds of stories. And in part 2 of my book, we confront those stories and we really take a look at, is this story really true? And if it's not, what's the other story that I want to be telling myself right now? Or at least, what's the truth that I want to be accessing about myself right now? And then at the end of part 2, I talk about how to let go of the patterns and the stories that might be limiting you in some way or holding you back from taking the action. So in part 3, we finally take some action. And in part 3, it's about getting into a mindset that's the opposite of being stuck. And the opposite of being stuck is what I call flow. Flow is those times in your life when you are doing something and you lose all track of time. You are doing it just because, I don't know, you just enjoy doing it. Flow is something that might be a hobby. If you're lucky, it's your career, or it might just happen spontaneously. So I talk about how to access your, flow mindset. And then I talk about how you can get clear on exactly what you do want. Because when you know what you want, it's a lot easier to start taking action toward getting what you want. But if you don't have that clarity, it's really hard to know what to do. So I give exercises on how to get to know what you really want. And then there's an exercise in there about creating the vision for your life. You start to visualize yourself in the life that you really want to create for yourself. And then I talk about how to maintain the flow in your life so that you can keep going in the direction of the life that you want to create. So that's basically what the book is about. I mean, there are several more words than I just gave you, of course. But what I've loved about writing this book is that I wrote it for myself. Remember, I woke up in the middle of the night and I was like, I gotta write something for myself. I realize I'm stuck. And a lot of that was a realization that I did have a lot to say about what it is to be stuck. And I wanted to get out on paper for myself how I typically get myself unstuck and to organize it in a way, to really get to know myself and to know what does and doesn't work for me in the process of getting unstuck. But then I realized, you know what, as long as I'm doing this, I think this could probably help some other people too. And so that really helped me think about, okay, what are the lessons that I've learned over the course of my life that might resonate with other people, that might help them connect with what they might want to know and understand about their own stuck, so that they can go through this process of getting unstuck. So that's basically, and the other thing that it really helped me with was really feeling gratitude for the stuck moments in life. It's being stuck is never comfortable for anybody. It's really one of the most uncomfortable things that can happen in our lives when we don't know what to do. We just want somebody else to tell us what to do, but nobody can tell you what to do. It's something that each of us has to discover on our own. So in the process of writing this book, I've really grown to feel grateful for all of those moments of being stuck. And I'm hoping that other people will start to view those moments in their lives with gratitude as well, even if it comes in the form of a pandemic. So how does this book relate to my focus word of freedom for 2021? Very definitely, being stuck has made me feel caged at certain times in my life. But what I discovered is that when I interact with being stuck in life, rather than avoiding it, that's when the interaction begins the process of working through the stuck. You can't really go around stuck. You really have to go through stuck. Working through that stuck has really helped me create a sense of taking action in my life, even though the action at first is more about going internally. It's about going inward rather than taking action that is more outward in your life. The action of going inward has really helped me free myself from all of the old patterns and beliefs and behaviors that I'd been engaging with or telling myself, and really helping me see what was possible in my life rather than what I thought wasn't possible. And when I stopped believing all of the things I was telling myself, I could really start to feel into the freedom that I actually had within me. And when you feel free inside of yourself, you start to feel free to make changes, large and small, on the outside of your life. Also, that freedom within helped me dispel any of the fears that I might have about making changes and trying new things in my life. And that's what I'm hoping will do for anybody else who reads it, that it'll really start to help you release some of the fears that you have about change or confronting those parts of yourself that aren't always easy to look at. So when will this book be done? It's not quite done yet. I will be self-publishing on Amazon, and it is so close. I am in the finishing stages of formatting and writing the book description and getting the cover just so, and all of those kinds of details. So my hope is that by the end of this month, perhaps in early April, the book will be finished. I will certainly make an announcement. You'll know. You can get a copy now. You can pre-order a copy on my website. In fact, www.tess-miller.com /the-book-of-stuck, or just go to my website. You'll be able to see it on the menu. And I'll put a link in the comments below if you want to get to pre-order the book. And if you think this book is something that someone you know might really benefit from, feel free to share this video, share the link, anything with those people. I'd love to hear from you about any of the stuck places in your life. Feel free to send me a private message or write a comment below. And if you want any updates or free resources from me as they come out, you can join my weekly email on my website. You just enter your information on the home page and I will deliver right to your inbox all kinds of free stuff. But you can also connect with me on Facebook, on Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, all those places. And if you're ready to embark on some transitions in your life, consider setting up a free Test Your Wings coaching session with me. You can do that on my website as well. And you just go to services, click on the Test Your Wings complimentary session, and set up a time on my calendar. So remember that it's totally okay to be stuck, but you don't have to stay there, and you don't have to do it alone. So reach out. I'd love to hear from you. Take care and have an awesome week.